It was almost midnight when Daniel accepted what he thought would be his final taxi ride of the night. Heavy rain poured from the sky as the empty streets reflected the glow of distant streetlights. Just as he was about to end his shift, his phone beeped with a new booking request. The pickup location was Old Central Railway Station, a place that had almost been forgotten by the city. When Daniel arrived, the station was silent. The only person standing on the platform was a tall man wearing a long black coat and holding an old leather suitcase. Without saying a word, the stranger opened the back door and quietly got into the taxi. Daniel looked into the rearview mirror and asked, "Where to?" The man calmly replied, "Blackwood Manor." A chill ran down Daniel's spine. Everyone in town knew about Blackwood Manor. It had been abandoned for decades after the mysterious disappearance of the Blackwood family. No one dared to go there, especially after midnight. Trying to stay calm, Daniel started driving. The rain became heavier, and an uncomfortable silence filled the taxi. Every few seconds, Daniel glanced into the rearview mirror. The passenger simply stared back at him without blinking. Suddenly, Daniel looked into the mirror again and his heart nearly stopped. The back seat was empty. He slammed on the brakes and quickly turned around. The mysterious passenger was sitting exactly where he had been before, completely silent, as if nothing had happened. Daniel apologized nervously and continued driving, but fear had already taken over. As they entered a dark forest, Daniel's GPS suddenly shut off. His phone lost all signal. The narrow road ahead disappeared into thick fog, and the towering trees blocked the moonlight. After several minutes, the enormous gates of Blackwood Manor slowly appeared through the mist. The mansion looked frozen in time. Broken windows, cracked walls, and overgrown gardens surrounded the old building. The passenger stepped out of the taxi with his suitcase. Daniel looked at the fare meter, but it displayed only one number. $0. Confused, Daniel looked at the stranger. Instead of paying with money, the man handed him an old silver pocket watch. Daniel refused politely, but the stranger smiled and said, "One day, you'll understand." Without another word, he walked toward the front door of the abandoned mansion. The massive wooden door slowly opened by itself. The passenger disappeared inside. Seconds later, the door closed. Daniel waited outside for several minutes, but the man never returned. Curiosity finally defeated fear. He picked up his flashlight and stepped into the abandoned mansion. Dust covered every corner of the house. The air felt cold and lifeless. Broken furniture lay scattered across the rooms, and every footstep echoed through the empty hallways. Daniel searched every room, but the mysterious passenger had completely vanished. Then he noticed a collection of old family photographs hanging on the wall. One picture caught his attention. The same mysterious passenger was standing beside the Blackwood family. Daniel moved closer and looked at the date beneath the photograph. October 14, 1989. More than 30 years earlier. The next morning, Daniel visited the city's historical archives and showed the photograph to an elderly historian. The woman stared at it for a long moment before quietly saying, "I know this man." Daniel leaned forward in surprise. She explained that the man had been the Blackwood family's chauffeur and had disappeared on the same night as the family. Despite months of searching, he was never found. Daniel could hardly believe what he was hearing. He reached into his pocket to show her the silver pocket watch. But the watch was gone. Instead, he found an old train ticket dated October 14, 1989. On the back of the ticket, 4 words were carefully written. "Thank you for coming." Daniel left the archives in complete silence. From that day forward, he never accepted another taxi ride after midnight. Even today, drivers in that town tell every newcomer the same warning. If a passenger wearing a black coat asks you to drive to Blackwood Manor after midnight, never accept the ride.